morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Yes, I see we are having the people from different geographical location. I'm clear and loud, right? Everyone just give me a thumbs up. Ensure that voice and bandwidth is everything. Thing is perfect. Perfect. Got thumbs up. Okay. So maybe the others can join, but we can just kick off the session. So I'll just start with the initial 2-3 minutes just do's and don't about this session. This session will be starting in at least we should be starting at 8 o'clock IST timing, and we'll try to wind up in. I'll try to wind up my part in 1 hour. Then next 30 minutes, I'll give everyone to talk about, or they can talk their challenges or the question which they are having. That's the one aspect. Another aspect is that this is very trending topic, and it's also a debating topics, right? So each people will be having their different opinions. So it's very much welcoming opinions. If we are not able to answer the question during this session, they everyone is having the mail ID, and they are directly connected with us in the LinkedIn, so they can ask their questions and clarify those things, right? Because of a short of time, that's the one thing. Something is that initially I'll be taking 45 minutes to 50 minutes to talk about the content, industry trend, market analysis, everything, just to let everyone know. So I need everyone to be on mute. I'll open the platform in last 30 minutes to people can talk about, and they can open the question and they can share the views. And about the recording, study materials, or maybe some of the useful reference where they need to refer for the future reference, definitely will be publishing on our channel. So be ensure that we'll be sharing all the details about that. So by saying that, let me start sharing my screen. Just let me know if this is visible to everyone. Okay, can someone give me a thumbs up if they're able to see my screen?
Yes, we can
Per-
see
Perfect,
the screen.
perfect. Thank you guys. Okay, so yeah, this is the subject of this webinar, which where we are talking about the evolution of a Scrum Master demand, knowledge beyond the Scrum. The heading itself is saying where what the Scrum Master should be like, and how the industry has changed over the span of 15 or 20 years, and what are the challenges they are facing today in terms of technology, in terms of what additionally they need to know, and those kind of stuff which we are going to discuss. And it is more over exchanging the views over there. So what I'll do over here, I'll be just talking you guys through about the industry trend, market analysis, and the sources which I'm having. It is very reliable sources. Like I'm having the sources from the scrum.org, then the sources from the LinkedIn, and very verified websites. So the history and data which we have, which me and my team has been collected. And in the end of the session, I'll be sharing the link of those sources, so you can cross verify those sources, being through those sources, and go ahead your study or the analysis from there. I'm just talking about the key topics which we are going to discuss about today. Is one very important is that does the Scrum Master need to know about technology, which is very trending and debatable topics. Many people and many mentees reach to me, they need to know, do we need to know about the technology? And if yes, at what level we need to know? That's the second aspect they do ask it. And if we know the level, then how I'll prepare those things, right? What are the areas which we need to cover it, how we can start our journey. That's the most trending way. And the second topic, which is continuation, is that why is the trend shifting towards the technical Scrum Master? Why I'm using this term technical Scrum Master. We'll be seeing the industry market data. Like if you been through the multiple JD job description, or maybe within your company, you could have seen that the people are nowadays either changing the keywords like a technical Scrum Master, or the person should know about the technology. That's where the trend goes. And from there, we'll be touching the aspects via the engineering practices, like DevOps practices, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and deliveries, and test-driven development, which is a part of extreme programming. Why it is very becoming common in the job description, as well as few of the organization, they do demand that SM or the agile coach, or they are RT, whoever the roles which they are pursuing under the agile umbrella, they should be knowing about that. And the last topic which we need to cover is second last is does the certification help, right? Because people there is a race behind the certification. Everyone is running behind the certification. Whoever suggests what, right? So what level certification we need it at what stage we need it, and does it really help or not, right? And if it helps, in what aspect it does help. And the last one is that the Scrum Master need to know about project management. If yes, at what level, right? Because if you see nowadays, people are mixing the roles like that SM should know about the basic scrums, ensuring the team are enacting over there. Also, they should know about the project management R&R, right? If they need to know at what level they need to know, if not, how to clearly define the R&R. That's the primary agenda of this session. So, by saying that, let me begin with the market analysis. So, what me and my team has done, we have took out the some of the industry data from year 2014 to 2024. This is the last 10 years data. So the segment which we have defined on this analysis is starting from the job description. Then in the upcoming slide, you will seeing about the roles and responsibility and few other aspects, right? So this in this section, we are talking about the job description. So if you have seen the trend, the people who have joined the Scrum Master journey in early phases. So because just take an example of me, I am doing the Scrum Master role. I started my journey 12 years before as a Scrum Master role. So few of the industry trend, I was a live example of that how the shift has been done over there, and few people are in this session are very much experienced about those, so they can vouch for that, right? So if we see in year 2014 and year 2016, during this time, primarily focus if you been through about the job description or being working as a Scrum Master, primarily focus was on basic Scrum practices and team facilitation. When I say the basic Scrum practices, like the Scrum Master, at least they should be aware about the Scrum framework, ensure that those practices are in place and team is following those, ensuring, right? That's what the primarily R&R, those time company was seeking for a Scrum Master. Then from there, the shift and trend has started shifting. So if you see the trend in the year 2017 to 2019, additionally of the focusing on the Scrum practice and team facilitation, now the company was emphasizing on doing the agile coaching. The coaching can differ at the team level or the multiple team level, program level, followed by the enterprise level, right? So they are seeking that the Scrum Master should be a coach who can coach to the team. They can coach to the product owners, they can coach to the Scrum Masters if they are operating at the program level, or they can coach to the stakeholder also. Apart from that, if you would have seen few of the industry, they are asking about the scaling the framework. So we are not restricted to one team. They are seeking for someone who can scale the Scrum or the different framework at the different level. So either they are asking for the scaled agile or the different framework, right? That's the shift has been moved. Additionally to that, once we move to the 2020 to 2022, which is the boom of the DevOps practices, DevOps were there in the system before, but most of the company has started or adopting those practices during those time, and those has become an integral part of a SM journey resume, like integration of DevOps practices and engineering practices, including the continuous integration, continuous deployment, and deliveries. And current trend, which you see from last 2 or 3 years, like apart from this DevOps practices and first three section, which by default they should be knowing. Additionally, they are asking for a few of the extreme programming practices, like are they well versed in the DDD or BDD, or do they understand the software development lifecycle complete flow? Do they understand the testing complete flow? So these are the few trend which you see in the job description. The trend which I'm talking about, I'll be showing some market data, so we should not talk on the air. So those data and analysis is there in the upcoming slides. And if I move to the next one, okay. So this is the R&R roles and responsibility of a Scrum Master from last 10 years. So where in year 2014 to 16, as I mentioned, primary focus was on the team management, the Scrum, ensuring team is doing the Scrum events, the basic Scrum event with the Scrum Master needs to do it. But after some time, if you see, if we are just doing the Scrum event, we just kind of becoming a mechanical Scrum Master. When I use this term, mechanical Scrum Master, like uh, daily scrum is just a meeting where the SM is facilitating those meetings, the sprint planning, and followed by other meetings, right? After some time, we also does realize that we are just going in the machine way where anyone can do that thing, right? So that was the initial demand, where it was also not huge competition, and people were surviving with stores demand, right? But additionally, when the years passes by, starting from, take example, from 17 to 19, people were seeking that SM should know about the coaching part, the facilitation part, and mentoring, and also they should be part of agile transformation. When I say the transformation, they are seeking someone who can do the team level transformation, the transferring team from the waterfall to the agile, or transferring team or in terms of doing the some best practices, ensuring they are doing those things. So that is the additionally R&R came in the SM profile, in the coach profile also. And then the shift moves from year 2022, like the person should be responsible to expand it to include CI, continuous improvement, and DevOps facilitation practices, right? So when I say the facilitation means, if your tech team are practicing those practices like DevOps or CI/CD, right? So if you would have noticed, once you are the person who is closely working with your Scrum team, right? So they doesn't speak the Scrum languages. They doesn't talk about the agile and those stuff, right? They have their own technical language, right? For example, if they are having an impediment in terms of a build fail or the timeline fail, or the database server is down, right? So they use those keywords, right? So are we in those position to know about those things, or we just know the Scrum, right? That's where the facilitation part comes into that. I see the people are starting questioning. I'll try to answer in the last. Just let me cover the flow. Then, in the recent years, if you see, the people are asking to ensure that they understand about the engineering practices. When I say engineering practices, including the development practices, DevOps practices, testing practices, and the how the uh, from starting from your development till the production, what is happening. Then some of the extreme programming practice they should be aware it. Definitely, I know the people will be having the question, how do we need to achieve that? That's the one part. And do we need to be that much technical, or what level of understanding I should have? So just hold your thought. I have an answer for those in the upcoming slides. Initially, I just want to let you know about how the shift has been moving from last 10 years and the industry trend. This is about the roles and responsibility. And if I move to the next one, where is talking about a demand, right? So this is very important, right? Because nowadays people are very much post COVID or post this recession, people were very much curious, or they had a fear like, will the Scrum Master job or the Agile coach job, will that sustain, or where we stand, right? That's everyone seeks about one. At least not everyone, at least once in a while we thought about those things. So if you see the trend, we whenever such thoughts come in our mind, we need to talk. There should be a supporting data behind it, and we should always go and do the analysis about that. So if you see the trend from last 10 years, where initially in the year 14 and 16, the demand for a Scrum Master or for a coach was moderate, because during that time Agile was just adopting and growing. Most of the company was not aware about the how the Agile works. That's one thing. And the bigger MNCs like, take example of IBM and other companies, they had a fear to move to the Agile because they are already having very legacy applications or legacy process, which is running from more than 50 to 60 years. And if they do those changes, what will be the impact? That's where the challenge over there. Then from year 2017 to 19, the shift has moved towards where the demand has been high due to the agile and Scrum adoption across industry. When I say across industry, so if you see, the Scrum or the Kanban agile is not only restricted to the IT company. If you take example of automobile company, the Toyota was the first one who was doing the Kanban. Then apart from automobiles, it is in the research industry also, in the medical history also, even in the oil gas, various industry are there where they are adopting the agiles over there, and demand is high. But how come the demand become high, right? Because if you see the transition from year 14 to 16, people has been seeing that the market has been changed. Each day the new technology has been came, and we need to adopt those things. Otherwise, if we some competitor will come, over there, right? That was a time where was the industry race started, and then how and which framework can help us to deliver and go fast in the market. We need to build the time to market time. That's where the agile was just started, and people see that's the one framework or that's the one technology which people are using it, and they're seeing the significant benefit behind it. That's where the demand has been increasing. And if you see the data during 2022, this is the COVID time where the demand is continued high. Plus also your people are getting the remote work options over there. So it was not like the previously how the industry works, where we were restricted that the Scrum Master, all the teams should be present in one single room and they should have a face-to-face interaction, which is the first manifesto in the Agile says, right? Everything has been changed post-COVID. So the remote work or the e-work, like the people are meeting virtually, which has been game, but demand was high. And if you see the latest trend, demand is quite steady from last 2 3 years, with a focus on specialized skill like DevOps and SDLC knowledge. Here you guys need to focus it, right. So if you see, the people reach to me, they are saying I'm not getting the calls, or if I'm applying for one job, or you would have also seen like for one positioning, around 500 to 1,000 people apply for a single position, right? That's the competition is in today's, because anyone and everyone behind doing the Scrum Master role, the person who is from test study want to become a Scrum Master, the people are from developer or any role, right? They finding this role quite fascinating or quite easy. That's my opinion. So then, how you will ensure that if everyone is applying for that role, how I'll get that role, how will sustain those things, right? That's where the additional specialized skill, right? Like having the knowledge of engineering practices. The trend is in currently in the DevOps or the extreme programming concept, right? We should know about those technology. If we put those technology in our resume, if we speak those language, we will be definitely able to, first impression is that we'll be able, that will be the eye catchy for the interviewers also. Apart from that, if you once finally shortlisted within an organization, your team is going to speak those language only. They are not going to say, okay, in the Scrum language or like Agile language or different framework, right? They will talk about those practices. So we should be aware about those technology. Again, let's hold this question: how and at what level do I need to have a hands-on on that? Do I need to do the certification to know those courses? Right? That question is there in the many people's mind, but let's halt on that thought for our next upcoming slides. But once I talk about this theory in this slide, is this really is happening, or this is just people are talking around it, right? We need to cross verify those data. So let's jump to some of the first trend, and then we'll talk about the market analysis also. So in the trend analysis, if you've seen this data, I have captured from the verified resources, which is coming in the upcoming slides also. So the first one in the trend analysis, which has been changed in the broader role. When I say the broader role, now the Scrum Master are expected to take additional roles such as a agile coach and the project managers, which is some companies seeking, not all the companies seeking, and everyone should know it. This is some trend analysis which I wanted to share with one. And when I say the agile coaches, some people has different myths like agile coach is someone who is acting as an enterprise level. No, if you are working with one team as a Scrum Master role, also by default you should have one skill like you are coaching a team, right? So you are a team level agile coach. Then if you are coaching the multiple teams, you will be becomes a coach who is maybe at the operating and the program level, or on top of that, if you are handling the multiple program, then the portfolio level. That's where the differences comes in. Then the technical expectation, increased technical expectation. So companies expect Scrum Master to have a basic understanding of technology to bridge communication gap. It's a very important line to read it. When I say bridge communication gap, whenever the team is having some challenges, or mainly the Scrum team which you are dealing with, they are the people who comes from the technology background. The application which you are building, you're not building any like a fruit vegetable market, right? You're building the tech application, the heavy tech application behind it, right? So how you'll ensure that you are going to bridge the communication gap when team is facing those issues? That's the one challenges. apart from the issues also, if your management asks you, or the leadership team asks you, okay, bring some best practices, which is a common trend I heard from many of my aunties. My management is asking to bring the best practices, I don't know what to do it, right? Then they started pulling the data from the Jira and see what. No, it's not like that, right? First you need to know how your engineering practices, how your all the processes there in the system, you should have those holistic view. Then from there you can apply the system thinking and know that how we can enhance those practices. But before enhancing those practices, do I have a basic understanding about those tech which is behind that, right? That's where industry is asking some person who at least have those level of understanding, who can help the team better, instead of people who is just knowing the core Scrum, but they don't know about the tech anything at all, right? Than facilitating technical discussion. If you know that would have maybe once in a time everyone would have faced these challenges. If you see, whenever there is some issues or technical discussion goes around, we feel the left out person during the discussion. Like maybe the tech manager or technical teams or lead, they are talking about maybe the issues in the productions, or there is some server mismatch or whatever about the challenges impediment they are having in terms of technology. We were not primarily, we were saying that we are facilitating those discussion, but we were not able to contribute much more on that. Uh, about those technical discussion, the reason behind that, the language which they are speaking, the technology which they are speaking, we are not familiar with those, right? So we sometime, what do we have? We do have a peer somewhere. If I ask some question, right? Or if they will ask me some question, what will happen? That's the sense some people. I'm not saying everyone is having those things, but definitely based on the people which I've talked through, some people are having those sense, right? They are saying that during those discussion, they are feel the left one out. Then if you see the next one, the implementing the practices about the TDD and VDD, like knowledge about it. When I say TDD, test-driven development, it is nothing like having the unit test cases in the places. And when I say the unit test cases, also some industry or some companies following the wrong practices, like they do the development first, then they ensure to meeting the core quality parameters or whatever the standard the organization has been set up. They do writing their unit test cases, maybe not in the those sprint, upcoming sprint, which is a very wrong practices, right? TDD does says like first you should be writing those test cases, failing those test cases first, and whatever wherever the failure is there, based on that you build the system. That's where the practices are there. So few company, for the name's sake, they are following those practices, but not in the correct manner, right? So first thing is that as a Scrum Master, Agile coach, if I don't know about how what is this practice about, then how I'll correct those people? That's a challenge. Then shift to DevOps. So nowadays everything is in the fast pace. Everyone has to beat the time market, right? How I can continuously do the delivery, how I can ensure whatever the feature we are having, we are going into the market fast. That's where the DevOps culture into the place, and increased demand for certifications. Definitely, people will be having the questions. If you see nowadays, n number of certification are in the place. Even few of the we don't heard it, right? So then, what certification I need to do it, and do I need to do all those certification? Is it important? If I don't have any certification, what will happen, right? Those questions will be there. So these are the some trend analysis. And when I say the trend analysis, let's see it. Does it company really asking about those things, or is it a theory, right? So this is some data which I have pulled from the very verified sites which is providing the job to the people. LinkedIn is the one top site where people are seeking the opportunity. Apart from that, in India, there is a Naukri.com is there, and the US they are different. So I have tried to pull the data from different websites and see, is this really company asking those aspects, or is it just people are talking about it, right? So take example of here. This is a position which is recently opened in the ANG Bank. For agile coach, if you can see, okay, they are asking for a Jira and column. Very good, we should be expert on that. But apart from that, then they have mentioned somewhere like they should have a knowledge on project delivery experience to demonstrate the track record of delivering what matters, as well ability to plan and prioritize work, right? So somewhere this is the R&R, which if you see the core roles and responsibility of a Scrum Master, that's not coming over there. But additionally, this is more towards the project management thing, which they are seeking for a Scrum Master, right? Then if you see other industry, take example of a AT&T Bank, where they are asking for a Scrum Master, right? So what they are asking, they have very much clearly mentioned like people should be effectively work with the technical development team and help them understand the requirement for technical development, testing and implementation, right? How we are able to help it if we don't know those requirements in the place? But company is keeping very clearly in the JD. If you see in the next one, like solid technical background and understanding on the experience software development and web technology, right? If you see these terms in your whatever the company you're applying in the JD you're applying, we'll be shocked, right? Do I need to do the hands-on on this, or because I'm not a technical person. I'm coming from the management background, or I'm coming from the project management background, and how I'll cope up with the others, right? Because if others knows, that's the questions comes in the mind, and it should be coming, right? Then we'll be talking then how to achieve those things, right? Then if you see next they are asking about they should be very good in the written and verbal communication. Great, we are good on that, right? But then they are asking they are have ability to present the complex technical information in clear manner, right? Then how we'll do that if we don't know the clarity, right? Let's see few more industry. This is the job which has been recently posted. I'm not taking any job which has been 3 years or 4 years old, so I need to ensure that people are aware what is happening around them. Then this is the positioning which is happening on the Deloitte company. So where they are clearly asking like having the knowledge of other agile and lean practices. Great. Okay. I'll be having knowledge on the Kanban. Maybe I can have a knowledge on the lean practices. But additionally, what they are asking now, DevOps approaches, right? They should know about the TDD practices. They should know about the continuous integration and delivery information. So now the company has realized they are asking for those even in the core Scrum Master position, they are putting those as a required skill over there. So this is not something which is just people are talking on the air. It is a reality now in the current scenarios. Let's see some more position. Like for example, take example of Epsilon India, right? The principal Scrum Master. They are asking like this person should be having the project management knowledge, right? Certification, I'm not touching base, but if you observe the common thing, for each positioning, there is a common, they are asking for the certification, right? We'll be talking those aspects, then what certification we need to do? Do we need to all do all those certification? Take example of another company, EY, where they are clearly mentioning this should be, they are able to see the metrics which is deriving the DevOps matrices for centralized repository, right? How will I prepare the metrics if I don't know the DevOps? Then they should be established background as a Scrum Master in a technical domain, and they should have a proven aspiration, coach, and team level knowledge. Okay, team level knowledge I'm having. Then again, they should have a master in the technical domain. Right? Company is asking for the Scrum Master. Then able to blend Scrum and technical practice to implement the right coaching approaches. Common trend. Company is asking. Take example of GE India. They are asking seeking for a Scrum Master where they have a project management knowledge. Why the Scrum Master should know the project management, right? Then they should be mentor and technical coaching they are mentioning over there. They should have a knowledge on the project management. They should have a knowledge on the they should act as a project manager also. Sopra Stania. They are seeking in the heading itself, they are mentioning now Agile Scrum Master Technical Lead. UST Global, Senior Scrum Master. They are asking the person should be certified, again emphasizing more on the certification. Then they are asking the person should be either come from the development background with some year of experience. So ultimately they are seeking someone who should have at least basic understanding on the technology and which your development team is working. Take an example of Wipro, right? So Wipro in their desired skill itself, they mention the Scrum Master. Additionally, they mention the project management, right? The dual role. I'm just why I wanted to show you this common trend which company is seeking, just to be aware, like is companies first thing is they are seeking for those people also there. Additionally, how will differ, like take example, do the comparison. One person is he is very expert in the Scrum, he is very expert in the Agile, but apart from Scrum and Agile, he or she doesn't know anything, right? And second hand, there is a person who knows about the Scrum and Agile, but additionally, what happened? They are familiar with those technical practices which their development team is doing. They are familiar with the practices like DevOps, CI/CD, TDD, BDD, and right. And if they are mentioning those practices first thing in their resume, then if they are applying for interview also, right? So you guys are very much well enough smart to know where the weightage will go. that's where I wanted to just highlight the where is the difference coming nowadays, why the competition is huge, why the people are struggling to get the job. And second thing is that then does everyone needs to know about those things, right? That's a question also stick in our mind. So first let's talk about the data market analysis one, then we'll jump to the point how to do those part. Okay. Take an example of this is the data I have put apart from LinkedIn. I put from the Naukri platform where the Siemens is a very well reputed company is working on the different domain, including the healthcare also, right? They are asking for a software development practices like DevOps and CI/CD. Okay, then the data which I have pulled, it's not like the data which someone has posted, right? Individual people has posted. No, the take example of Scrum.org. It's a very big known organization to most of the people, which is providing the reliable sources over there, right? So if you see the trend analysis over the Scrum.org, which they have posted a few years before, right? So if you see the many companies apart from the Scrum or the complementary practices in Agile, they are doing the 55% companies seeking for a person or they are doing the DevOps practices. 34% companies are doing the TDD, right? If they are doing those things, then definitely they need some persons or someone who can lead the team on those practices. So that's the data where we are talking about it, right? That's in terms of engineering practices. Let's talk about the certifications also. So if you see the certification, does it matter? And if it's matter, at what level is matter, right? So if you see the color over here, like the blue one is showing the without certifications, and the purple is showing with the certification. And this is again has been published by the scrum.org. And why the dollar value is there? Because this is the survey which they have done with the US folks and around 2000 plus Scrum Master Agile coaches over there, where they have seen the significant difference, like the person who is having the certifications and definitely the year of experience, right? They are getting the more good packages in terms of the person who's not having certificate. Take example of this person who is getting the around 150K dollar, right, in a year, where the person who's not having the certification, they are getting those salary in a 1% bracket compared to the 8%, followed by the different and you can see it, right? So let's just halt here. Then the certification people says, right, at what level of certification I need to do that, right? So if you, it depends on your level of experience. And this is my observation and based on the people which I have taken the interviews in the past. So if you see the company, whenever they hire for a Scrum Master positions, the level of expertise differ, right? So if you are having the experience, let's say from 0 to 3 years in the Scrum field, apart from the additional experience which you are having, you are comes in the category like a junior Scrum Master, simple Scrum Master role, where they are thinking, okay, this person should handle one team more than 1 to 2 teams, right? If you are at that level, if you are unity very much clear, right? Those company will clearly ask for either CSM or PSM certification, right? So at that stages, if you are under that bucket, if you comes under those umbrella, then you can self evaluate those things, like if other people are asking, okay, do the agile course certification, do the scrum trainer certification, do the ICP ACC or say for whatever nexus certification, no, right? This is not needed for you because you have just begun your journey. The primary prerequisite for me is that if I have those level of certification, I'm good, right? So then that's the case where you need to self evaluate, right? Take an example, if you, the company is seeking for a person who can coach to the program also, who can act as an agile coach at the program level also, definitely then you will be needing the agile coach certification, right? The CSM won't be sufficient for you. And clearly they will be mentioning in there either in the JD or in the company site, right? Then take an example of a company who is moving, working with the different programs. Under different programs, they are having the multiple combination of program and they want to do the uniform practices across the organization, and they are scaling. If you see, by default they are scaling the scrum and ensuring that everyone has to do the same practices, right? Whenever there is a chances of scaling the scrum, they will be seeking for someone who had exposure of those technology, and as a prerequisite if they have done those certification, right? That's why there are some if you have noticed, in some organization they especially ask for the scaled agile framework or safe certifications, right? So there is a theory behind it, but it's not like that each and every person company is asking for a safe certification. or each and every person has to do the same certification role? No, right? It differs on the company to company. If you're targeting for a specific company and they are working on the scaled agile framework, then you need to put it those certification. If not, if those companies just seeking for a person who knows the Scrum, and if you are having those basic certification, you are well and good, right? No need to do all certification, investing your money, and then having then 15 or 20 certification in your resume and still not getting the job, right? That's on the certification. Then this is some article which has been published in the LinkedIn. Like for example, you can see over here, the Scrum Master will need to expand their knowledge beyond Scrum and explore the other frameworks such as Kanban, Lean, Good. But some people has mentioning also the DevOps, right? Then if you can see this analysis over there, again, it's in the scrum.org, very reliable sources, where they are clearly mentioning that in the 2019 report, which includes like 80% of person are using Scrum with other practices like Kanban, DevOps, and XPs. That's a market which talks about those practices. Okay, now what I'll do, so far what I have done, guys, I just showed you the picture, what is happening in the background, how the industry has moved from last 10 years, right? What is the demand today? Where is the challenge now, right? Now, next question, important question is come solution part, right? Because this is everyone is talking about it. Like people are seeking for a technical scrum master, we need to know those practices, right? But first thing is that what area I need to cover it, at what level I need to cover it, and how to achieve it. That's where the important section is coming in. So let's touch those aspects now. So first thing is that what level of knowledge requirement. So first, where you see the first section, which is a basic technical understanding, right? So person who is poorly or mainly working with the technical teams, if those team is working on, take example of practices of the DevOps practices, if they are working on the practices like DD practices, right? So if you are having the fundamental knowledge of those software development process and tools, and if you are good in facilitating discussion and removing technical impediments, when I say the facilitating discussion means whatever the technical team are talking those aspects, you if you are able to grasp those words, right? For example, if your development team is saying my build is failing, right? If you don't know what is mean by build, how the build cycle works, right? Then how you'll help it? How do you know that I need to engage with the right person, right? If someone is saying, okay, my pipeline is failing, my pipeline, if you don't know what is the pipeline about it, right? So here is a nuance differences where the important questions come is that do I need to do the hands-on? Do I need to set, install all those Jenkins, Git, GitHub repository, everything and do the setup? No, right? That's not your job, right? That's your DevOps team's job. That's your engineering team's job. But if you are having the fundamental knowledge, when I say the fundamental knowledge, starting from your developer is doing the development of building the functionality from his local machine till he's pushing the code to the GitHub repository, till the application is going into the production. Whatever the steps or the process is following in over there, if you know at least those process, high level, the knowledge, how it is happening, what is mean by the CI/CD practices, then you are more than sufficient to understand the challenges over those people. Maybe you, if the team are having any challenges during time, if there are an impediment, you are not going to solve those impediments, right? What you are going to do, you are at least in the position to understand who is the right person. Either they can be the technical lead, either he or she can be the DevOps engineer. I can engage with those person. That's the job of us, right? We are not going to resolve that person and opening the system, right? That's where the fundamental knowledge comes into the picture, right? Again, we'll in the next slide we'll touch how to achieve those things. First we need to know the level of expertise, right? The next thing is that support for DevOps culture, right? So you should have at least familiarity with the CI/CD pipelines. When I say the CI/CD, some companies say the continuous integration, continuous deployment. Some says the continuous integration and continuous delivery. I believe most of the people are not aware what is the difference between the continuous deployment delivery. They do struggle over there, right? When I say the most of the people, mainly the program manager teams or the scrum master, the coaches. I'm not talking about the over technical team, right? So if you don't know that basic at all, right, how you'll help to implement those practices, improve those practices when your leadership team will ask you about those things, right? Then, if you know those practices high level, then you can enable the seamless collaboration between development and operation teams. Then, the project management, which is very important aspect, right? Do I need to be a project manager? If I have to be a project manager, why the hell I have choose a job for a Scrum Master, right? So, if you see the trend, at what level I need to know in the project management, so and how I can differentiate my role as a Scrum Master, right? That's very important aspect to understand it here. So if someone asks you, like, okay, go ahead, boss, whatever team you are working at, do the budgeting for them, do the money part, everything part is handle that. That is directly conflict the Scrum Master responsibility R&R. Then you can say this is not my job. Cannot say directly, but that's where the differences come, right? But if your company is asking you to at least, okay, can you prepare the timelines for your team overall for a quarter? Can you highlight the risk over there? Can you work on the project planning with your stakeholders, right? Which usually the PMO team works it, right? So that is something which companies nowadays, instead of hiring a two different role, like a project manager differently from the PMO office, Scrum Master differently from the different organization, and doing those jobs, they are seeking if that person which I'm hiring for that, if they know at least those project management terms, like how to make a project plan, how to make a schedule plan, how to prepare the Raki matrix or risk management plan, right? So he is the very good resources instead of hiring the two resources. Also, people says, okay, the Scrum Master is closely working with the Scrum teams, including the product owners also, right? And you would have seen some of the people who is working with the bigger MNCs. You see there is a PMO team, project managers team, who is primarily interacting with the third party vendor, who is engaging with the stakeholders in terms of talking the delays or risk or timeline, right? So why can't Scrum Master do those things, right? That's where the you would have seen the JD, the company seeking at least you should have those skills where you can engage and talk to the stakeholders about the risk over those aspects. So that's are the few areas it's good to have if you can include in your additional skill which comes under the project management. That's a basic people will ask it. No one is going to ask you about to build the like the budgeting plan and everything, which is a core R&R for the PM, right? Then this is the level of knowledge which is required. Now, next important thing which we are going to discuss is that how to achieve that part, which is very important, right? So, how to achieve part, this is which I will talk through based on my experience. How did I learn from over the last 6 years where I'm very much interested on those technical terms to understand it, including the DevOps practices, CI/CD, how the testing cycle works. So, because that's my self-interest over the period I have learned. I think out of this participant, many are my mentees, and we have conducted many webinars around those aspects also, right? And some experience I'll talk about the people I have taken the interviews. Some experience I'll talk about my various agile coaches or the Scrum Masters working on the different industry, different company, and who is doing that thing, right? How they gain those things. So I had a one-to-one with them, understand those things. Based on that, I have come with this data. So one thing is that, and one very easy and fast track way, instead of doing searching about in the YouTube, because if you go to the YouTube, you will find n number of information. Some information may be vague. Some you will be able to understand, is it correct information or not, right? Some may be in the articles, right? So the very easy way, which I tried personally from my experiences, what I have done during those technical discussion where happening, right, in terms of maybe setting up the platform within an organization when the project kickoffs, or whenever the people are talking about the architecture or engineering practices and all, right, those kind of discussion definitely does happen. The only thing is that because we as a Scrum Master or Agile coach, we are too much involved in our basic Scrum event ceremonies and all. We are not part, either not part of those discussion, or maybe sometimes we feel okay, it is not needed, right? That's where we just skip those meetings if the invite comes, or we don't ask it, right? But what I have done from my experience in the last few years, what I asked, I was just part of those technical project discussions where people are talking about what technology is going to behind that, how we are going to set up those engineering practices, including the DevOps pipeline, just as an active listener. You are not going to collaborate over there. You are not going to propose your view because we are not having those knowledge, right? But when I say I am there as an active listener. When I say the active listener, or there's a difference between the listener and active listener, right? If you just be in that meeting, use so opening your mobile or maybe going on mute and roaming around there, it is not going to help it, right? Be present on those meetings, heard what those technical managers, technical lead is talking about, and just make a note about those things. Maybe you won't be able to understand and grasp anything and everything at initial phases. So you can make a note of those, just reach behind those technical leads and show your understanding. This is what I get. Maybe you can have a one-to-one call with them, right? That which is what I did it. Based on that, what happened, maybe in the first few months I was not able to do that, but this I have brought in my practices. So what have I happened, whatever this technical discussion around it, I just seek my interest over there, ask those questions to those people one to one to having my understanding, and based on that I started making the notes. Based on that, then I started making the webinars over there, right? So this is how I have expanded my understanding over there, right? Second one is the collaboration with the DevOps team. So what I have done usually, and currently also I'm doing as a coach, I very closely work with my DevOps team to understand their processes and challenges. So what I have done, usually what I do, I know there is always a one person who can help you, right? So I know based on the, maybe I'm having the DevOps engineer or technical leads, in a weekly way, or I just schedule a 1 hour call with him, or if 1 hour is not possible, a half hour call with him, and I ask them, can you just walk me through what is the DevOps practices or whatever the engineering practices currently your development team is doing. I no need to know about how you did configure the tool, how you are doing the coding in the console. No, I just walk me through the flow, how it is happening, right? So just have those one-to-one call with those people. Maybe you can record those sessions for future references and all, and this does really pay. This really helps a lot to me. Like I had an understanding with them. Second thing is that it gave me the impression that to the development team also, if you have noticed this thing also, sometimes what development team or testing team thinks, okay, this person is not interested at all in the daily scrum. He just take a status and goes away. He don't, does he really understand what we technology we are talking about it, right? And sometimes that is because of that also, based on my discussion with various scrum master, we feel underconfident also, right? But if we show this kind of like we are seeking for information, we are showing interest over there, right? People also take interest in you, right? They think, okay, this person really understand those things because he or she had a discussion with me also in the past also, and he understand those terms. So if I showcase my challenge to him, if I talk about that this is the problem I'm seeing, so definitely somewhere he can engage with me in the right person to help on that. That's why I'm saying the doing the collaboration with those team. Okay. I'll just take 5 more minutes, then I'll open the platform for a question. Then the continuous learning, right? This is very important. This you can be throughout. So do not restrict to just to have a knowledge on the Scrum Master, do the certification around the Scrum Agile, no, right? So you can enroll in a technical courses or webinar which is related to those practices like the CI CD practices. Multiple people do run the webinars or the DevOps courses, or the people who knows about, right? If you have in your close circle, you know that the person who has moved from technical background to the Scrum Master who knows about those things, your Scrum Master, project manager, agile coach, have a learning with them, right? There is no harm to seek for a mentorship. There is no harm to seek for a one-to-one guidance with them, right? if, Please ensure if you are spending some time, or spending time is a money, which I see it, right? And the learning, right? Which is more trending topic like those CI/CD devotional, right? This is always going to pay you guys. So seek the mentorship with those people, enroll for those courses. That's my understanding. Initial of my when I was learning those technology, I have done. I have whatever the webinars used to happen, so kudos to you guys also for this seminars. I see 50 plus people has been joined, right? So whatever the webinars was there, I used to attend those webinars, and in the long run, it is really paying me, right? So join those webinars, do the continuous learning, enroll for those courses if you see wherever is possible. Regular update is very important, right? So you can this is something which is happening across it. So some people maybe they know from the LinkedIn, some people maybe from the WhatsApp, whatever the community, right? So stay updated with the latest technology trend and tools following by the industry blogs, or attending webinars, conference, and joining tech communities also, right? Nowadays, if you see few of the companies, which is I believe in the next, when we have this webinar in the future, next 2 or 3 years, I am going to add definitely one more point. The company is seeking for a person who knows the AI also. as a Scrum Master, right? This is a very trending topic which I just kept for the my upcoming webinars also, right? So that's a trend, right? Which is the new trend has shifted, right, from there. So the company is seeking for a person who knows AI, but that's a different topic altogether. So just I'm just emphasizing over here, just stay updated for the regular updates. So join the communities, right? There's a huge community and number of groups in the LinkedIn. People are sharing the information in the WhatsApp also. There is a n number of communities. People are spreading the information across it, then the webinars, whatever, right? And then collaborate with the mentorships. So you can seek the mentor or the coaches who is experienced on those areas, and you can work closely with them, right? Because this technology which I'm talking and the level of knowledge which I'm talking, it's not a rocket science for us, right? Because we are not going to set up those practices, right? It's just having the basic knowledge, understanding of those practices. And based on my experience, if we closely work with that, let's say over a 2 month or 3 month, we will be definitely able to understand those practices are easily and join the professional community which is already over there. So this is a few guidance or which is a few tips which I wanted to share with you guys and wanted to aware you how the industry has moved, what's the trend over there. And what I'll do by saying that, maybe I can open the platform for questions, and from that question we can exchange our views. And in the last, if you are not able to answer it, I we can maybe join some communities also there, which is there. I'll share with you. We can collaborate over there. So what I'll do, I'll halt here and let's take a questions over there. Do I sources? Let me talk about the sources also, guys. So people would be having the question, okay, from where did you get this data? Is the data is really reliable or not? Or if I wanted to cross verify those data, definitely go to that, right? This is a research which I was doing from the past few months. So if you can see from the scrum.org, then Knowledge Hut, LinkedIn, simply, and whatever that well reputed organization which you know, from there I got this data. So I'm going to share with this you. And then what I'll do, maybe I'll be having some more WhatsApp groups over there, and this recording and everything I'm going to publish in my channel. So definitely you'll be getting the recording of this session, including this documentation also. You can go through those things. Additionally, I'll putting some more resources where you can learn the CI/CD concept, DevOps practices, CDD, during those channels. So you can go through that. And you can connect already. Most people will be having my mail ID and WhatsApp number. If not, they can save it over there, and we can talk through more aspect on this thing. Because I know in 1 and 1.5 hour we cannot learn all those aspects, but at least I can make you the enabler. What was the shift towards there? What was the challenges? What's current's happening, and how we can learn those things, right? So people can talk about through, and if they want to explore the toolkits also there, they can go through that, right? So by saying that, let me just stop sharing. Let's have a questions over there. Yeah, Tina, I see you raise your hand.
First of all, Prashant, thank you so much for such an informative and insightful seminar. I will definitely watch the recording again just to clear my doubts. So this was the question which I was asked in one of my interviews. I am here in Canada, and I was appearing for this brand called Staples. It's a very famous North American brand, and there was this position for a Scrum Master. So, just to give a very brief personal background, I am not from a technical background. Like it's also mentioned in my resume. Like I did my bachelor's in journalism, and then I started working as a public relation executive. And the role of a public relation executive and business analyst is quite similar. So then I became a business analyst, and then my organization was transforming from waterfall to agile. And my agile coach, encouraged me to take on this new role of a scrum master because he thought I have this people management skills. So that's how I became a scrum master. So I don't have any IT degree or something. So, looking at my resume, this interviewer asked me this question that if you're not from a technical background, how do you think you will handle technical challenges as a Scrum Master? So, to be very honest, I think I didn't clear this interview because of this question because I was not able to answer this question at all. So, just wanted to know if I'm asked this question again, how do I answer this?
That's a perfect question. That's a reality also, right? First, we need to understand why this question is coming on that, right? Because they are seeking for someone who is work closely with the technical team. Definitely here, out of 50 people, right? I believe more than 40-45 people, Tina, is not coming from a technical background, including me also, right? So, if you are in the technical background, we could have answered easily, right? But before you answering those things, are you ready for that or not, right? Because if I was in position, if I was ready already, I could have said I was not coming from a technical background, but from last 2 or 3 years, I was working with those technical teams only, and how those engineering practices is happening, including which I mentioned the DevOps practices, SDLC life cycle, SDLC life cycle. At least I know the fundamental how it is working. No, I'm not having the hands-on, but if the people speak those language, I am able to grasp those things and able to connect with the right people. And I believe that level of understanding is sufficient for me as a Scrum Master to help the people, or the Agile coach to help the people, not having the knowledge on the actual tools over there, right? Maybe then the question would have come, Tina, from the, like, they could have asked those questions. Then you should be in the position to answer those questions. That's where I mentioned, at least if you have those knowledge, basic level of knowledge, those things, right? And if you can put on your JD, or not in the JD, in the resume also, right? It's also always going to beneficial, and definitely this question will come in upcoming futures also. So better to study, I believe that that's where we have started, right? It's not like someone and
Hmm.
somewhere they have started any courses from the starting or new one, right? So just
Right.
explore those resources. I know many questions people are asking where we can learn all those things. Maybe I'll sharing the
Hmm.
link, guys. Also, what I'll do, I'll share you the few of the webinars I have conducted in the DevOps practices or the engineering practices, or anything, everything about the Scrum Master needs to know. So I'll share those
Hmm.
link maybe over the chat. I believe some people have already pasted those links. So maybe if not, maybe
Yeah.
I think Prashant, you can paste those link over here. They can go through those courses over there. So Tina, this is how what you can do. You can
Hmm.
just have your basic understanding clear for those things, because this is a demand today's, right? And then you can apply it. You
Right.
say, I am not from the technical background, but I know those terms at a fundamental level, which
Right.
SM should know it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
For
Nitu.
sure. And yeah, thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you, Prashant.
Nitu, you raise your hand.
Hi Prashant, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm Scrum Master from couple of years now, and I have a good knowledge of technical as well. But I don't have the background of technical thing. But my point is right now, since it's been a long time in Scrum Master role, I want to switch to project management. So is it a good time of after 10 years of experience to move to project management, or do we have any kind of webinar conducted which from I can start from scratch to know about project management?
You're acting as a Scrum Master, right? Why you want to move the core project management role?
Because it's like I got two switches and I am getting the same role of Master. So I think I'm not getting that much hike as I'm expecting in the market. So it's been a long time. So I just want to look into a better role in the project management. So I'm just looking for that. So.
See, down the line, definitely the company is seeking for they are either looking for a Scrum Master who knows at least the project management at the team level, or if they are working on the program level also. And if you are, since you mentioned you are having the vast experience, maybe you can go to the next leader. So instead of moving to the project management role, that is an additional skill which you can gain it, and you can add as an additional skill that I know the project management also. So if you are seeking for a some companies looking for a technical scrum master or the technical project manager where they need dual role, that will fulfill or usually fit on that role, instead of just seeking for a project management role, which I don't recommend, because everyone in industry is moving towards the scrum and agile, right? And
Yeah.
then going back to the project seeking core role, right? So having those knowledge and gain those skills, but keep as a additional skills in your current role, and seek for a then higher roles over there, right? So it's not you can stick to the scrum master role, you can go to the lead role, then you can also go to the RT or coach roles also there, right?
Yeah, that was my next question. That is RT role is a an engaging one. Should I switch to RT also? That if that is also in trending right now, because I don't see RT role much in the LinkedIn.
It's there, though they don't ask for directly for the release train engineer, right? They either they will post the person, they will, they could have put like a lead scrum master who was good on the release plan. They can do good on the PI planning, right? That's a nuance we need to understand. Some company directly ask for the RT, but some not RT, it's a RTE. I think it's a release train engineer, which we are talking about it, right? The person who is mainly working on the safe model and handling with the PI teams, right? So specifically, they won't ask Neetu, but in the JD, those R&R will be there.
So Prashant, if you're okay, can I share my views as well for the question?
Yeah,
The relevant
definitely.
question.
That's why I'm sharing over there, right?
Yeah.
Before that, just 1 second, Money. I have just pasted one link, technical course links, because the people who is seeking for that, do you provide those courses over there, so they can explore. Just save this link over there, explore those courses also. And I think for these users, since they are over the weekend, they've joined it. I put some special discounts over there. So if they want to opt it, they can opt it. Yeah, go ahead, Money.
Yeah. So you can call me Vinod. I think Mani is my father name. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Vinod.
No. Yeah. So Prashant, first and foremost is like, I want to thank you for whatever the inputs that you're sharing through LinkedIn. I'm just following you passively for some time now. And I've started working as a Scrum Master from 2016 or 17, something like that. Okay. And I know from the day that you started involving yourself more and contributing more to the community. Okay. The question that she asked, right? Once you, I can answer from my personal perspective. Okay. Once you step in as a Scrum Master, okay, in the initial stages, you may feel some kind of stagnancy after you spend at least 2 or 3 years. Okay, so the path that you can choose is either you need to go as an agile coach. If you are passionate about coaching and other stuff, you can elevate as an agile coach. Or else, if you want to get elevated as an agile delivery manager, okay, you can always feel free to just learn those skills and try to move into senior Scrum Master roles, and then you can take up the Agile Delivery Manager role. And I think in UK, I'm currently in UK, and in UK, most of the times they don't even publish the particular role as a Scrum Master. They'll call the role that we are playing here as Agile Project Manager. Okay, so those are the roles they will be referring. So even in certain terminologies, they will say like they will almost call you as a agile project manager. When you have been called as agile project manager, even if the agile terminology is not mentioned there, okay, invariably they will be expecting you to play the traditional project manager roles as well, the roles and responsibilities as well. So instead of limiting yourself to just play only the Scrum Master role, the time is demanding and forcing you to do some kind of traditional activities as well. So over a period of time, you need to explore yourself and you need to expose yourself to learn all these things, so that either you can move as an agile coach, which will give you some kind of hike, whatever the hike or the monetary benefit that you're looking for, or else you need to look out for agile delivery manager position, and then you can move on in those areas. Okay, if you are looking for additional hike or something like that, ensure that you are on the latest trends, as told by Prashant. Okay, I'm closely following the market, and nowadays, if you are having only the Scrum Master certifications, that is not going to give us the advantage in the market. So you need to be on top of things. And whenever you have been in a particular role, I can see a lot of Scrum Masters, even though they are not having enough technical skills, okay, they went to the ground level. Whenever, if you are joining any stand-up calls and if your team is saying there are some impediments, okay, I can see some kind of lack from the Scrum Masters to get into the core and solve the problems for the team. Okay, your team will expect these kind of behaviors from you, so that whenever they have any challenges, they'll always reach out to you. So those kind of soft skills also you need to improve down the line, so that these things will help you to be a better person or better coach down the line. Thanks, Prashant.
Mani,
Thanks, Vinod. That's all.
Vinod,
Yeah, Ashwini.
just one comment from my end. Okay, so you told like, okay, Scrum Master need to play a role of Agile project manager, right? Okay, so that won't be the case every time. Okay, as per my observation. Okay, even I came from a project management background, and then I switched to Scrum Master, now playing the role of senior Scrum Master and as well as RTE both. So in my project, right, we have a separate streams. Basically, we have separate project manager, we have RTE, and we have a product owners, and we have a solution team. In that case, right, okay, our role is only restricted to only the facilitation and as well as removing the impediments. Okay, but even I'm playing a role of RT, I'm doing some kind of management job, okay, at the art level. But when it comes to a senior Scrum Master or Scrum Master, right, it is just restricting basically. As you are in UK, right, okay, just I'm telling, okay, I'm working for a UK based company, so they are very much restrictive on the roles basically, and even they don't want to outsource some of the strategic roles and responsibilities to Indian based employees. Okay, so that is one observation. I don't know which company we're working for, but there is a lot of role differentiation that we are observing nowadays. At least from past 6-7 years I'm doing the same role. Okay, so that is one comment on your end. And again, one more question, Prashant, to you. So, like you explained the Scrum Master roles and responsibilities, right? How we need to deep dive into DevOps and other stuffs, right? Okay, so with a PO in the place, right? Okay, so most of the requirements will be analyzed by them. Okay, if we go and start getting involved, right? Okay, so we can see, like, at least my observation, I can see like they're feeling insecure. Okay, that okay, we might pull their job. Okay, so that insecurity I can see a lot of in the PA. So we had a big call that, okay, so what is the Scrum Master responsibility? What is the PO responsibility? And what is our T responsibilities? We had a very big call. Okay, and we need to align with a senior manager that, okay, so these are our roles and responsibilities, and we are not going to keep our legs in other shoes. So that is what we decided. So in that situation, right, how to overcome? I know that even I'm from testing background, I know how it is important to understand technical things, but with this insecurities, right, how to overcome that?
Yeah, very
Actually,
valid
what is
point,
your
Ashwini,
experience?
and very burning point you brought it, right? It's not only with the PO, it's with even the PMO teams now. That's the chaos and fighting between that. The SM is seeking the PMO role also, right? Because they are stepping in their shoe, right? So, if you are no see, this is the scenario differs for company, right? If within your company you are having the very streamlined the R&R, okay, this is the SM responsibility you need to do for a Scrum Master Joe. You cannot step in on the some of the responsibilities PO are doing, right, or having those knowledge, right? Okay, fine. I am good in my area if the company not seeking of that, right? But I am not, Ashwini, I am not sticking to those company forever. Luckily, that's a trend over there, right? So I need to know also what other trends is going in the market also, right? Because you shared your view, then we know share your view, right? Because you see some also companies specifically mentioning in the JD which I have shared also, right? Seeking for a person, they should know those DevOps practices at those level, right? Why then we need to understand why this company or why this organization seeking for those roles that SM should know those, right? Because one understanding which I'm having based on my experience in current companies that because my technical team is going to speak those language, even my PO is also going to speak those language, right? And if they need me to involve in those discussion and if they need some input or help from me to facilitate those discussion, right? And if I'm very blank over those area, right? Then how will fulfill the need? Just then I'll be just a meeting placeholder person, right? Just I'll be setting up the meeting and these people will talk it about it. If I'm there in that meeting or not there in the meeting, that doesn't matter, right? That's where the need arises, right? So having those understanding is good, and if you feel that organization or your company is not allowing you to step in on there, okay, this knowledge is with me, wherever it's needed I will show those knowledge, otherwise I'll keep with me, right? That's where we need to understand the different nuance differences also, and having those knowledge is always a plus point. It's not like that if I'm having those knowledge and if not practicing is a different thing, but having those knowledge and keeping with me, it's not going to harm anyone, right? I believe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's my
but
personal opinion, Ashwini. Yeah.
Prashant?
Yeah, yes. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So, I mean, we started the Tina with one direction and then we went to the another direction. And the last two callers, all I have to say is we need to bring our A game. Anyway, so do you have, I've been with you for a couple of weeks or months, I think, especially the Jira course that you did. Uh, Tina asked the question and the second caller also asked the question, are you putting together a program for the people like this? Because me also come from the non-IT project manager for 18 to 20 years, right? But I did a Jira, Scrum project, but then again, the previous company called me, went back to that because of the pay. Do you putting together a program or course that allows CI/CD, pipeline and build all those things in order to go through the interview. And if you sit, like you said, if you sat in the meeting, we should be able to digest that, observe that. Okay, this is what is talk is happening. It's not like it's going over my head. You know what I'm saying? Are you putting together any kind of course like that?
Good point, yeah, right? So I think you've been part of my previous webinars in the Jira, right? But what we have done really, we in the past also with the bigger audience, we have conducted webinars on definitely specifically the course which has been designed for a Scrum Master take over DevOps practices, the CI/CD, right? The level of understanding the Scrum Master needs to know. So those courses is already there, Riyaz. I have shared the link with the people. So maybe you guys can explore about those courses and having those understanding what the SM should know in terms of those technical aspects, right? That is already available. So you can try it and just opt for those courses already there, which is already well recorded. Even the end-to-end user guide is also there. Additionally, what I am going to do it, I have upcoming 6 or 7 webinars planned over there. So where I'm going to conduct few courses. Someone has asked on the AI also, which is my next webinar. Going to conduct what the Scrum Master needs to know about the AI. Then the upcoming webinars, Riyaj, where we are going to talk about definitely DevOps practices, then the STLC and engineering practices. Those webinars pile up. So what I'll do, anyhow, I have everyone and anyone mail IDs and WhatsApp number. I'll broadcast those webinars. But if people want to know those courses, that course is already available, the link which I have shared, so they can opt it from the areas.
Okay. And one question for the last lady that she spoke up. I like that statement she made, right? But the question I have for this audience, anybody can speak up, is people like Tina, first caller or second call, or myself, non-IT people. Even though I started selling as a computer, I know a lot about computers. But again, these things are different. Do How do you first 30 days or first 90 days? How do you survive? Is a question for those people who's a Scrum Master for last 6 months or a year. How do you survive? I can impediment, broker, technical, all these things. The communication, we can talk about it, or if you can talk anything. But you have to have in you that what it is that it takes you to uh, those first 30 days or first 90 days. How do you manage that?
Can I answer your question, please?
Please, Session.
Yeah. The first important thing in Scrum Master role is like getting like understanding with the team, okay, and they should have a confidence on you, like, okay, whatever we are going to tell, right, they should listen to us, telling that, okay, whatever Scrum Master is telling is the right thing we are supposed to do. Okay, getting confidence is the first thing, okay, as per me. So initial 1 week to 10 days, right, you need to have a one-on-one call with everyone from the team and try to understand what exactly they're doing, what modules or functionalities they're working. So one-on-one call is very much important. And then, okay, try to understand what they're going to implement. Basically, even as told by Prashant, that we should understand at a ground level, right? Okay, the second thing is that thing. And the third thing is a refresher. Okay, so if the company is working in the safe or Scrum mode, right? Okay, agile or Scrum mode, right? Then we should have a refresher session with the team, telling that, okay, so boss, these are the things, okay, we are going to work, like, okay, something you can tell the safe ceremonies or peer planning events or retrospectives. Okay, so these are the some of the calls. Okay, like these are the refresher we should have with the team. Okay, and along with that, okay, I would really suggest have a some kind of a session with them, like weekly ones or once in a 2 weeks. Okay, not to discuss on any of your work related topics. It is just a personal connect. So that is where the trust builds among a team and as well as Scrum Master. Okay, if I'm wrong, okay, anyone can please.
No. You're 100% right over there.
Perfectly said, Ashwini, right? That's where
If
the
I can add
trans, right?
something
Yes,
to
Siddharth.
that slide, so if I can add
Yeah, please,
something in
please.
there, so
Yeah,
I somehow
please.
agree with Ashwini, but not 100%. I think your first 2 months should be the observation phase rather than guiding people, because people don't like change. They are very restricted or very focused on their own processes. So if you want to change something, first you have to observe them. So one good idea, which I also follow all the time, have a one-to-one connect on regular basis and try to understand their thought process. not just the technical part, but their personal ground on which environment they are working on. So you can have that empathy with your stakeholders. Then stakeholder can be a developer or be a big leadership role in there. So that's what I suggest, or I would do in any new role for first 60 days or 90 days, no matter it's a scrum master or developer, because scrum master responsibility is to first observe and then push the change. So if you try to give them a training and they already get trained 1 year back or 6 months back, then they will resist. They will close themselves like tortoise, and they will not open up for any positive conversation. So first you need to observe them. And the other part which I mentioned is the nomenclature is very important in any role, and especially in the Scrum Master or Agile role, because the reason behind that is I worked in multiple teams, multiple geography, multiple clients. One person is calling it as a defect, some person is calling it as a ticket, some person calling it as a bug. They're talking on the same line, but their nomenclature is different. And this is a very basic example or simple example when we talked about that, do we understand the technical knowledge or something? They may be saying the same thing. If you don't understand them, you may
So,
have a
boss,
different perspective about them.
Okay.
but I have one question for you. What you're saying to observe for 2 months, but I am on the payroll. If you're the company owner, you're going to want me to observe for 2 months and pay me $50, $60, $100. And US over here, they're going to have the company don't have 2 months. In 2 weeks, they say, come on, bring your A game on.
See, Nini, see, there are two different things. I got your point. I think you're talking from the contextual perspective. Your contract is for 3 months or 6 months, and they want you to be productive in a week's time. But what I'm trying to say is, if you try to change people, change process within a short period of time, without observing them, the duration may be lesser. For you, it may be 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But don't change them until you understand them fully, because then the team will not open up and you will lose the opportunity to have that positive conversation with them.
Agree.
Uh,
That's
Yeah,
what the last.
you're right from
Maybe,
your own side,
yeah.
but yeah.
Can I
Okay,
just
yeah,
add on
maybe
to that?
I know many people are having questions, so definitely, but yeah, that's the point. Cooperator, maybe Riyaz, we have a group over there. Maybe I'll add Uday also there. We can discuss more there. Yeah, Max, please go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to add on what the gentleman just said now. So I think the most important thing he mentioned was building the relationships and understanding your team and the product owner. And I think once you understand the people involved in the project, it's a good idea to then move on to understanding the project lifecycle as the team is currently handling it, because it might be different from what you were used to in your previous role. So once you understand the dynamics of all the touch points within the project lifecycle, and you understand the workflow, how the team flows from initiation up until something goes live, then you get an opportunity to understand where you actually need to implement the changes. Because I think if you're quick to try implement the changes, but you don't understand the process, the people involved, and who makes the decisions, because I think it also touched on Tina's point of being technical and what level of technicality is required. I think the fact that you're a Scrum Master, you have the right people around you on a technical level that can make the decisions and guide you. So you'll be making a second-hand decision, if I can call it that. You'll have a technical lead, there'll be a test lead, and you have developers. So you don't really need to be as technical, but you need to understand everyone within the process, what decision needs to be made, timelines, dates. So once you figure those out, then you can move on to the other steps.
Thanks, Max. Thanks for sharing. Man, I see you have a question. Okay. What we can do, I see the people are dropping. They are either hungry for dinner. Some
Yeah,
are
can you hear
maybe.
me?
Yeah, I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me? I was speaking on mute. Sorry. Thank you very much, Prashant. I wanted to just ask a question about this TDD TBB issue. How do you
Mhm.
bring it to the team, and what is the purpose of it?
Okay. So this first you need to know this XP practices ban. This is TDD and test driven development, right? So I believe most of the companies either they are doing practicing the unit test cases the developer is writing, right? And that's one checklist ensuring before the code is pushing to the testing timeline, right? So what's the benefit behind it? We need to understand why we need to do that and what's the right way to do that. Right? TDD, BDs all together bans is a different topic, which I think I have conducted, or maybe we can discuss it over there. Because if I explain now, it is going to take a whole time. But this is the best proven practices which most of the companies following over there. But yeah, let's take this question offline. And what we can do, I know, yeah, Vignesh, you also have a question, but is it possible that if people can come, because I know the people will be dropping soon, can come on video and we can just have a voting for this session just for improvement. And if is it fine if other people can't come on the videos? Whoever is possible is there, right? We can just use the fist of five technique which we use in the Scrum usually, or the scale of agile from where 1 to 5, right? Where 1 says the session is not good at all and 5 says highest, good, very much satisfied, right? So if people can come for a video for a minute and they can be just go offline, right? So 1 is saying the session is not good at all. 3 is average, 5 is very good, right? So I'll just ask for a hold on the count of 1, 2, 3. So I'll just take a screenshot and we can publish in the LinkedIn, right? Can I see only 4 people around? Yeah, Max is on, Ban is in. Let's just give a minute, guys. No, not on the chat, guys, on the video. Yeah, see what a colorful team we are having here. Yes. Can rest people also come on the video? Is it fine? Okay, that's fine. So what I'll ask on the scale from 1 to 5, how you guys feel it about how was the session, right? And just keep your hand over there. So I'll just take a screenshot.
Session was great, always like usual. And
Thanks.
also, just to let you know, there's one of the Scrum thing is you need to come on a video.
That's true. Yeah, right. Face-to-face interaction, we say it's very
If you
important.
just if you just ask your associates to come on the video and you don't come on the video, that's not good for you. You need to be on the video too.
That's true. I totally agree with you. Cool, guys. Yeah.
Can
Okay.
you say
Yeah,
the
Ben.
question? So I'm hoping you to contact
You
you
can
very
come
soon.
up with
I'll
name
let you
excuses
have
when
my
you ask
contact,
them
man.
to come on
I'll ping
video.
you what you can do. Even for this courses, right? The people ask the tab of courses and all. I share the link over there. Just go through those links. If you feel some courses does make sense to you, opt for it. If not, just let me know if any specific need over there. We will be having definitely whoever people. I think people are connected with me from last 3, 4 years. We have done n number of webinars. And down the line, we'll do those webinars. I'm not going to do the basic webinar, what is Scrum about it, right? That's a basic understanding. We'll definitely touch the very challenging topic, very trending topic like this practices, AI and everything, right? So just keep in touch. So yeah, if any questions, we can take it. Otherwise, I think we are good for a session and really appreciate guys on the Saturday evening, right? Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Prashant,
Yeah, Vignesh.
I'm currently sorry guys. I'm currently working in a government entity here in Dubai. My job title is like totally different, but I'm working in IT sector only. But I'm looking a job in India. Because of my job title, it will affect getting job in India.
Okay, you're seeking for a Vignesh, the opportunity in India. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm looking as a Scrum
Yeah,
Master.
I can definitely help you on that, Vignesh. You just ping me in the LinkedIn, so I'll share you some of the opportunity which is with me, and also I'll add you on some groups where people are posting the jobs across the global on the daily basis. So you'll get the job over there.
Okay. And also, I purchased your full setup long back. I'm just studying it. This is the one you're referring like courses, or this is something else you're referring in the.
I need to see which one you have taken, Vignesh. Maybe you can ping me. I'll help you.
Okay, sure, Prashant. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Preeti, you raise your hand.
Prashant, can I call you after this meeting on WhatsApp?
Can you call me tomorrow? Sometime early.
Yeah.
I think date my wife is calling me.
Oh, please. Take care of wife, man. Important.
Yeah. Has to be.
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. No worries.
Yeah, sure. Ping me, I'll go ping. Say my WhatsApp number, guys. Also, I think I pinged in this group, even the email ID. So I'll add you in our group where we are collaborating. Even in the WhatsApp, we can chat 1-to-1 about those things. Let's ensure that whoever has joined, we should be pro, right? Or at least if we are a Scrum Master, we should be pro Scrum Master. If 1,000 people are applying for a job, we should be first 10. That's what I wanted. That's the motto right behind it. So then there is no need to fear about the job and competition. Always be ahead. Cool. Then I think we are good. And thanks everyone. Thank you for joining. Enjoy your weekend. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah, thanks, Prashant. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, everyone.
So don't forget to like this video if you find it helpful and share it with your friends who might also benefit from it. And remember to subscribe to Papa Sky for more guidance on your path to success.